Welcome to the Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. I'm a little bit stuffy. I don't know why I'm a little bit stuffy, but I'm, with all these things flying around in the air, we really trying to keep it cute around here, but I haven't been around anybody, so I'm just going to hope that this is just like morning sinuses or something, because it's really early in the morning right now. But I wanted to talk about, things happening in your life for a reason, or people are present in your life for a reason, or things are going a certain way for a reason. And I wanted to talk about this because I was added to a text message chain, or text message list, I should say. And it was by, I don't even know, well, I won't say the person's name, but it was by one of my, it was a family friend. Let's put it that way. It's a family friend. These are like, your parents' old school friends, who probably know you, but you don't really know them. Like they've known you since a baby, and you probably haven't seen them since you were like 10, but they want to keep up with everything that's going on with you and so forth. So this individual had called me one day. They were looking for my mom. And I said, oh, this is my cell phone number. And she's like, oh, okay. So the individual, we talked, because I do know them, and we talked, and it was a great conversation. And I remember when you were just a baby and blah, 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 blah. So it was a great conversation. So I guess from there, they added me to their text message, listing. And their text messages are not necessarily daily, but almost daily, but not all the way daily. I would say maybe 3 or 4 times a week, where they text Bible verses and just a good word and saying of the day and that sort of thing. Now, if y'all know anything about me, y'all know I am not a texter. I text message. I gave my clients a way to text message me. But even when they text message me, it comes to me in email. I am not a text message person. I don't do business through text message. Even if you contacted me through text message, I will give you an email for you to email me everything that needs to be sent or whatever, because I'm very particular about that. Text messages disappear all the time. Things get misconstrued. Even in email, things get misconstrued. So when people are trying to piece together text messages and you send a long text message and it comes in different pieces, it can just wreak havoc on your business. And to me, it causes a lot of confusion. And if you're an unorganized person, it's going to make your life even more difficult. So I don't do the text message thing when it comes to business. And even on the personal side, I text because I know that's what other people like. But I would much rather just get on a quick phone call and call it a day. I'm just not a texter. So when people add me to their text message list and things like that, I don't really get upset like that, but it's definitely not my preferred way of communicating. So, I know that's the world today, so I'm not going to completely reject it, but it's definitely, I found a way to circumvent that so that it could be, text messages, especially for business. When anybody texts my business number, it comes to me in an email. So that's kind of like a happy medium for me. So whatever the case may be, we had a great conversation, and very sweet lady, older lady. And she added me to her daily, kind of like a daily word text messaging chain. Now, I wasn't upset at that, she didn't ask me to add me to it. She just added me to it, which that kind of was a little annoying, I guess you could say, but the elders, respect the elders. But I will tell you, this daily, and like I said, it's not always daily, but it is a few times a week. These Bible verses, these words are so amazing. They are so encouraging because she will send a Bible verse and then she will break down the Bible verse in layman's terms, right? So she'll give you a Bible verse and then she will say, in layman's terms, God wants us to ... And when the Spirit moves ... I mean, listen, it's great. And I'm glad I'm on the list. Okay? And I think it was Christmas. I think it may have been Christmas or no, it was New Year. At the top of the year, I sent her back a message and I said, Happy New Year. And I said, thank you so much for these encouraging words throughout the year because they really helped me. And when I tell you I've been on this list for years, I'm pretty sure I've been on this list maybe 5 or 6 years now. It's been a long time. Okay? And it's so encouraging. And the thing is, people who do these type of things, you can't get upset because you feel like, they overstepped their boundaries. Sometimes that boundary was overstepped for a reason. So before we rush to be angry, because I will admit, I was a little annoyed because people know how I feel about that. I don't like being added to email lists and newsletters and things that I did not choose. And I actually had to do a huge clean out of my emails and unsubscribe from literally a couple dozen newsletters that I did not add myself to. Right? I didn't mark them as spam or anything like that because I'm not trying to get people in trouble, but I did for quite a few of them block them so that they could never add me again. You know what I mean? Because people will just add you to their newsletter stuff. And it really, to be honest, and I've talked about this on here before, it's actually against the law to add someone to a newsletter list that is not affiliated with you somehow. They don't know they're being added to the list. They're supposed to opt in to be added to the list because it turns into spam. And spam is actually a federal offense when you get to that level. I know it seems crazy, but that's just what it is, right? Because it's an infringement on people's everyday life, okay? So people know how I feel about spam and they know how I feel about just being solicited out of nowhere, that kind of thing. So, but this, I wasn't annoyed very long. I was annoyed for like a second. And then when I started to get the messages, some of these messages be snatching me right on up. Okay? Like, for real, for real. And it's not about the people like, oh, this is Bible thumping. No, it really isn't, because she's a very practical lady. And she's not one of these folks that, she's going to hit you over the head with the Bible. No, she's very practical and she is quite witty and a great writer. She actually wrote a couple of books. And I said, you know what? I really do enjoy these things, and I love how she breaks things down in layman terms. So in any case, at the top of the year, I sent her a note to let her know how much I appreciate it, because she's not a person that I talk to, at all, really. It's my mom's friend. So, but I had to let her know that, and she wrote back, and she said, oh, sweetie, thank you so much. You've grown up into this wonderful young lady, and, I just love, seeing what you're doing, and your mom, she told me about your business and your website and everything. She said, oh, it's just wonderful, wonderful. And so I wrote back to her, thank you so much. I said, I really appreciate it, because I do. These words, I'm telling you, the verses that she chooses, they're so right on time. You know what I mean? And I'm not like an overly Bible person like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up in the church and all of that, and the whole 9 yards. Yes, I'm a Christian person, but I'm not even like, oh, the Bible said, and the Bible said. I'm not even that type of person at all. It's definitely a great guide, and it's definitely something that I've read through, maybe 3 or 4 times in my life, but it's not even something but it makes me want to be more diligent. It makes me want to be more like, okay, I need to make this a daily routine. I need to take a verse every day and break it down. You know what I'm saying? I need to make sure that I'm doing that. So it made me, download one of these daily word type apps, and your day just starts differently. It's not about religion. It's about knowing the word of God for yourself. And that's something my grandmother always used to say. We follow these preachers and all of these worship pastors, and they are human just like everybody else. And we get so disappointed when they make a mistake, or they're supposed to be held to a higher standard. Yes, to all of that. But they are still human. And we cannot expect them to be our teacher of everything. You have to know God for yourself. You have to read books, read the Bible, read all of these different things for yourself. God gave us all common sense. God gave us discernment just for that reason. So when you see your pastor going left, or you see your bishop not doing right, or whatever the case may be, you don't have to harp on that. God is going to deal with that. Their conviction is going to happen how it happens. We're so busy convicting people in the public court of opinion. Oh, they had a baby over here and they was doing it. God's going to deal with that with them. You make sure you're doing what you need to do and walk in your assignment. Make sure that you're aligned with the things that has been set out for your life. All those other things will work out. And I'm not saying that pastors should be running around here and doing all types of crazy. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that's their life. It's not your life. So I am grateful for people, like my mom's friend, who comes through in such a small way, but it has such a major impact. Because quiet as it's kept, I look for her text messages. I really do. And to be honest, I miss them sometimes. They come through and then I'll go and check my text messages after like a week, and it's like, ooh, there's 3 more new ones in there, and I didn't even know. So I appreciate people who do take the time to do things like that, because they're making a major impact with such a small gesture. So I don't know. I just felt like talking about that because I appreciate that lady so much. And I definitely gave her flowers. I've been on this text message list for years. I'm pretty sure I've been on this list maybe 5 or 6 years, maybe even a little bit longer. But I finally just said, you know what, I'm going to write her back, and I'm going to text her back and let her know how much I appreciate her. And I did that. And so yeah, give people their flowers when don't write people off right away just because you feel like, oh, they're infringing. They're trying to tell me. There may be a nugget. There may be some sort of helpful nugget or gold piece of information in between that person that I don't like when they send me things, like when they're trying to teach me stuff. And it's not even about that. They may just be sharing something with you that gave them their aha moment. And maybe you're not ready to receive it at that time. Bookmark it, file it away. Because you never know. Somewhere down the road, it may come back to you and you may be able to receive it in a different way maybe a year from now, 6 months from now, whatever it is. Maybe you're not ready to receive it right now. As long as the person's not being pushy and, that kind of thing. But I tell you, her stuff is right on time all the time. So I definitely appreciate her for that. But yeah, give people their flowers when they do stuff like that, because it may be something that you need down the road and you just don't know it yet, right? Anyway, I just wanted to share that, a little slice of life type thing. But yeah, I got one of her messages, was it yesterday or the day before? And it made me say, you know what, I want to do a podcast episode about this, because I think it's really cool. So yeah, you guys, like, share, subscribe. Make sure you pass this podcast along to someone who you think would find it helpful. We talk about entrepreneurship, we talk about small businesses and lifestyle, and how, my experience juggling it all and giving advice and things having to do with business, and advice just on how I navigate through being a full-time entrepreneur in this crazy world, right? Anyway, connect with me over on Instagram. It's my most active social media, Onyx Queen Media. So Onyx Queen Media. And yeah, connect with me over there, and I'll actually give you a shout out. If you tag me, let me know that you're listening to the podcast. I'll repost you in my stories as a thank you. All right, you guys, talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Online savings simplified. Don't search for coupon codes ever again. With one click, Honey's smart shopping assistant will automatically apply discounts to your cart in seconds. Save on all your favorite things. Easily pay less for products you're already buying online. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Join Honey for free. It takes 2 clicks to add Honey to your Chrome, Safari, Firefox, or Opera browser. Find savings in seconds. While you shop, Honey will find working promo codes across the entire internet, and you save instantly. With one click, Honey will apply the best deals to your cart. It's that easy. So what are you waiting for? Get Honey. Download it today. Visit our link, www.tinyurl.com/ONYXHONEY. That's www.tinyurl.com/Onyx Honey. Start saving right now.